Hey there and welcome. Today we are going to dive into one of the trickiest parts of IGCSE literature, how to write that absolutely perfect A-star paragraph. We're going to break down the exact formula you need to take your writing to the next level and really start unlocking those top grades. So, does this sound familiar? You get your essay back and the feedback says something like, good points, but needs more analysis. You feel like you're right there, just stuck on the edge of getting that top grade. Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. It's a really common problem, and the best part is it's totally fixable. So what's the big secret? What's the difference between a pretty good paragraph and a truly great one? Honestly, it all boils down to making one crucial leap. The leap from just describing what's happening in a story to actually analyzing why the writer made those choices. It's all about shifting from the what to the why. To make that leap, you really need a solid structure. Think of your paragraph like a chain. The whole goal is to create what examiners call a chain of reasoning. Every single sentence is a link, and it has to connect logically and strongly to the one before it. Get that right, and you've got a powerful, unbreakable argument. Okay, so how in the world do you build that chain? Well, there's a simple but seriously powerful framework that's going to guide you. It's called the PEDAL method, and trust me, this is your key to unlocking truly analytical writing. PEDAL. It stands for point, evidence, technique, analysis, and link. You can think of these as the 5 essential building blocks for your paragraph. If you can master each of these 5 steps, you're going to be writing A-star paragraphs over and over again. So let's break them down one by one. All right, let's start at the beginning with the first 3 steps: your point, your evidence, and the technique. These 3 parts build the foundation of your argument. They set the stage for the really deep analysis that's coming up next. Get these right, and you are already halfway there. First up, the point. This is your topic sentence, and whoa, just look at the difference here. A weak point just kind of states a fact, right? Phillips talks about husbands. Okay, so what? But an A-star point, it makes an argument. It gets right to the writer's intention. Phillips vividly presents the oppressive nature of marriage. You see how that's already analytical? It's making a real claim. Next up, you've got to prove that point with some evidence. Now, the key here isn't just to find a quote, it's how you use it. Please don't just drop a giant chunk of text into your paragraph. That just stops the flow cold. Instead, you want to weave short, sharp quotes right into your own sentences. It keeps your argument moving and shows the examiner you're in total control. Step 3 is technique. You can think of these as the writer's tools. They're a little bag of tricks for creating meaning. We're talking about things like metaphors, specific word choices, like a powerful adjective, or even the structure, like anaphora. Naming the technique is the bridge that gets you from just stating evidence to actually analyzing it. But a huge word of warning here. You have to avoid something called feature spotting. That's when you just list off techniques like you're checking them off a shopping list. The goal is not to just say the writer uses an adjective. The point is to spot a specific technique, like the adjective blustering, so you can then explain why on earth the writer chose it. And that brings us to the most important part of this whole process. We're talking about analysis. This is where A-star grades are won or lost, and it all comes down to asking one simple, powerful question. So let's zoom in on that one little piece of evidence from our example, the phrase blustering husbands. We've got our evidence, and we spotted the technique, that great adjective, blustering. Now, for the magic. We have to ask, why? Why blustering? Why didn't she just say angry or loud husbands? What does this specific word do that no other word could? I'm telling you, this one question is the engine that drives all top-level literary analysis. And this is where we explode the quote. The word blustering isn't just about being loud. It makes you think of a storm, right? Something chaotic, violent, a force of nature. So by using this word, the writer is suggesting the husband isn't just a man, he's like a hurricane tearing through the home. Now that is analysis. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is advice coming straight from the examiners themselves. They want to see you spending your time thinking about the why. They want to see the gears turning in your head as you unpack all the layers of meaning in a writer's choices. Okay, we have built our arguments. We've done our deep dive analysis. Now it's time for the final step. We got to put a nice bow on it. This is the link, and it's what brings your whole paragraph together. So what does the link do? It's all about zooming back out. You connect everything you just analyzed, all that nitty-gritty detail, back to the big picture. That could be the main essay question you're answering, the writer's big message, or, and this is a really high-level move, the historical context of the text. So, for our example, by calling husbands blustering, Phillips isn't just complaining about one marriage. No way. She's pushing back against the entire 17th century idea that women were supposed to be quiet and submissive. It creates this defiant tone, and it makes being single seem like a perfectly logical escape from a life of fear. See how that connects our tiny word analysis to a huge idea? That's brilliant. So there you have it, your complete A-star checklist. Start with an argumentative point. Back it up with some well-chosen embedded evidence. Name the technique, analyze the heck out of it by asking why, and finally, link it all back to the big picture. You follow these 5 steps, and I promise you're going to see a huge improvement in your writing. You officially have the toolkit. You have the framework, and you have the key question to ask. The path from a B to an A-star isn't really about memorizing more facts. It's about learning to think more deeply. So the only question left is, what amazing argument are you going to build next?